What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for the last stream of 2025. So a big happy new year to everyone out there. It's been a year of ups and downs. We won a trophy this year, we're always going to look back at 2025 in a positive light. But Mr. Brian, how are you? Any New Year's resolutions?
Like I said to you earlier, to spend as much time as I can with my beautiful wife when I get back to Toronto. Happy New Year to everyone in the chat, to you and your family. May it be full of health and happiness.
I mean, when we look back at 2025, it's always going to be about that trophy lift, about Bilbao.
Yep.
But it's just crazy to think about how many actually losses we've taken in this calendar year.
Can I also add to that, it's the year that Levy left.
The year that Levy left as well,
The year that Levy left, and we're about to embark on our brand new transfer window with a brand new strategy, brand new people. It's exciting times, but like you said, this year is all about winning that trophy.
Yeah. Could you actually believe that we're sitting here at the end of 2025, we've won a trophy and Levy has left the club? It's mad, isn't it?
Dreams do come
true. It's actually mad.
Dreams do come true. I should make a New Year's resolution because that pretty much went well, didn't it? So maybe I do need to make one.
All right, look, we've got a lot to speak about today, people. We have got a lot. Obviously, the transfer window starts tomorrow. So is it just like straight at like midnight? Is the transfer window open? It's just from midnight. So unbelievable. So the transfer window is open tomorrow. ENIC 2.0 has offered us, promised us funds.
Yep.
So let's see where we go and take with it. The problem I got with it, maybe we should save it and go for a bit later, but it's all very well and good having the funds and raising the ceiling of the wage structure and everything like that, but do you not see a problem of being able to attract these kind of players now?
Well, do you know what? I think if we look at it seriously, Ben, the last few seasons, or last more than a few seasons, the amount of players we've lost out because we won't pay the wages, and we knew we weren't going to pay the wages. Well, this time apparently we are prepared.
But that's my whole point, right? We're prepared to pay the wages, but are we less of an attractive proposition now as we were then?
But that's what I'm saying. People, you look at it, you pay the money, they come. So that's what I'm saying. Are we at the moment less of an attraction? We're European champions. All right, we're not setting the world alight at the top of the league or in the Champions League places right now. But I think this January will be a key indicator, not just for us as fans, but for players at different clubs and Europe and the world to say there is change at Tottenham and they are going to raise the deck. They are going to be more ruthless. They are going to push the guns out to try and get the top players in and want to bring sustained success on the pitch. It's a huge window for ENIC, isn't it? It's massive for them. It's their they say first impressions last, don't they? And this is seriously, yes, January could be a harder window, but this is their first window to make an impression, and let's just hope they do so.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, as I said, we've got quite a lot to get through today. So let's start off as we're bringing in the new year, and a player has returned to training. Big Dominic Solanke has returned to training, people. We've got some images to bring you as well of him back in training. And look, we're all talking about a lack of firepower up front, and if we can get this guy back on the pitch sooner rather than later, just gives us more options up front, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, what I will say is I actually think he's allergic to grass, because every time he gets back on the grass, he has a setback. So probably by the time we do the watch log tomorrow, we'll hear he's had a setback. I liked Dominic Solanke. I think his hold-up play has been good. Do we need better? Yes. Is he that ruthless striker that's got a history of scoring goals? No.
Well, he had the season before he joined us because 19 goals in the Premier League.
The one season, it's not been sustained. But I do think with what we've got, he can be a massive asset. And if we can keep him fit, well, hopefully we bring in another striker anyway to really put pressure on him, or say you're number 2, you've got to fight for the shirt. But I think he can get amongst the goals. I really do. But again, what's it now? 5 months he's been out injured?
Yeah, I mean, he played, I think, the first game of the season. That was about it. Like, first couple of games.
He picked up a knock in pre-season as well, didn't he? He played a bit of pre-season and then obviously went out. And he's been out since that Bournemouth game. But if we can keep him fit, and if we don't bring in another striker, I would say he will be for the way we want to play, I think he could do very well.
I agree, and Thomas Frank, he hates speaking about Dominic Solanke now in the press conferences, but he has said that he thinks Dominic Solanke will score a lot of goals for him. And once Dominic Solanke is completely fully fit and reintegrated into the team and available for selection, is he going to be our number one striker, do you reckon? Because Richie's doing so well.
If you had said this to me at the start of the season, I would have said Solanke's our number one striker. Richarlison is on form. We've criticised. We can say that if he's not scoring goals, what does he bring to the team? But he has been scoring the goals. His stats back it up. His overall play isn't there. Where I think Solanke is head and shoulders above him is his hold-up play, his work rate, his running with the ball, which is attributes he used really, really well last season. But he just wasn't in the box enough to get the goals, was he? But I think with Kudus now, and then if we can find that left winger and we can get balls into him, you've got to remember that season where he scored 19 goals for Bournemouth, he was the top scorer in the Premier League for headed goals.
Yeah.
More than Haaland, than... So if we can give him the service, he will get on the end of things. So I think it's at the moment, like it or not, Richarlison's got the shirt. And if Solanke comes in, he's going to have to try and earn it.
Yeah.
And coming off of the bench, and obviously we're going to have to monitor his fitness when he does come back. But if you'd asked me at the start of the season, I would have said Solanke is the first choice striker with what we got. But right now, I think it is Richarlison because of what he's been doing.
Yeah. I think with Solanke and seeing him back in training, I think it's also right to kind of temper those expectations about when he's actually going to be back, because
2027.
Literally, like we've been hearing it. We've been hearing he's been on the cusp for so long now.
Yep.
I'm not going to believe it until I see him on the pitch. I'm not even going to believe it if I see him in the team sheet before the game. I need to see him on the pitch. But look, he's alive. He's there. He's in training. So let's hope we can see him back sooner rather than later. Now, we brought you a leaked kit a few days ago, which is supposedly the away kit for next season. A new kit has been leaked, which is supposed to be the third kit for next season. It is better than the monstrosity of a kit that we brought you a couple of days ago. But let's see what you guys think about this. The Spurs going back to purple for their third kit, and I like purple. I'm just not so sure about the pinstripes. I think it would look a lot better if there was just no stripes there, basically.
Like I said to you, one of the things I've hated with Nike is everything's round neck. Everything is round neck. I loved it when we used to have a V-neck or a collar. I do love a V-neck shirt. I do like the purple as well. I prefer more do you remember the Hewlett-Packard and Pony one?
The purple one, yeah.
And blue kind of one. Those kind of thick stripes. To me, that looks like something people go to bed in. It looks like one of those stripy set of pyjamas. It's not bad, but
I do. You want that for next Christmas, your pyjamas?
I'd wear it for pyjamas. I'd wear it for pyjamas. But I do love a V-neck. I like the V-neck more than I like the kit.
Yeah. No, I don't mind the V-neck. The V-neck is actually very reminiscent of that kit that you were talking about, I think.
No, it's covered, that one.
Well, there was a purple one that we had under Hewlett-Packard that was V-neck that I remember Ginola wearing.
I think it was Pony.
So that must be something that they're trying to model it on, I think. But I think it's a lot nicer than the kit that we showed you a couple of days ago. That was just, I don't know what that was.
That was people on mushrooms.
Yeah, but this is all right. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. So that is supposed to be footy headlines usually get it absolutely spot on. So this is most likely going to be our third kit going in to next season. Yeah, exactly. As someone said, the 97 away shirt. That's the one I was talking about where Ginola was strutting his stuff in. So
glory days.
Yeah, the glory days.
Glory days.
All right, so that is the third kit. Let's move on and let's speak about Brennan Johnson now. As the Telegraph have just done a report hot off the press, and they are saying that Crystal Palace are now confident that Brennan Johnson will be at the club in time for the match against Newcastle on Sunday. The 24-year-old is expected to have a medical over the next 24 hours, and a deal will be for around £35 million. So this one seems to be progressing very fast. Palace, look, they're talking about medical over the next 24 hours, so Palace seem to have this one wrapped up. What are your initial thoughts on Brennan Johnson? Because we're taking a lot of goals out of this team. Obviously, Sonny's not there anymore. Maddison, Kulusevski out injured. Don't know when they're going to come back. Solanke, obviously, been injured the whole season. That is basically the large chunk. And Brennan Johnson was our top goal scorer last season. Over the last 3 seasons now, if Brennan Johnson goes, we've sold our top goal scorer from the previous season. How do you feel about this deal? Is it a risk?
It's a risk right now because we don't know who's coming in.
Yeah.
That's the risk. As you know, I've been a supporter of Brennan Johnson and have thought that he could be something. And I would have loved to have seen him play as an inside, like more centrally, or even when we had this striker problem, maybe even seeing him up front. But coming on this show for the years that I have, one of the things, and when we speak privately, I've said to you, one of the things I want to see Tottenham Hotspur do is players, and we use Brennan Johnson as the example, if they're not central to the manager's plans, whoever that manager may be, and a bid comes in for them, and you can get them out the door, and he would have 2 years on his contract left by the end of the season, and you get decent money, get that money and reinvest in a better player. And I've been really, and I think a majority of people have, the way that we have stumbled deals and the amount of players that we have that haven't been good enough, we let their contracts run down, they go with a loan with an option, they end up going for free. And remember, like we said, going into this transfer window, this is a brand new dawn for us, and there are a lot of bridges to build for our antics in transfer windows past and how Levy's handled it. And it looks like they've got this one done very quickly. So on that side, I'm looking at it more, not the player off the pitch, getting a player out the door quickly, as opposed to dragging it out and making changes. We need to bring in a replacement because now that puts Kudus and an injured Kulusevski as our real only options.
Yeah, but the problem I have with it, doing it so early, in essence, I don't mind selling Brennan Johnson. I think, getting 35 million for him is a good deal to do. But because we've got so many games coming thick and fast in January, the longer this rumbles on of getting a replacement, I think puts us under immense pressure going into this. We've got so many games, important games. We want to be fighting back up that league. We've got FA Cup coming. We've got Champions League at the end of this month. So if Spurs don't get a replacement in really quickly, are we not leaving ourselves short?
There is a chance that there honestly is, but I actually think we have a player in before Aston Villa. I don't know if it'll be a right winger to replace Johnson, but I've just got a feeling that a brand new player will be at Tottenham Hotspur before the Villa game. I hope. It is a big risk, isn't it? It is a massive risk, and do you know what? Brennan Johnson is central to us winning that Champions League. Jesus Christ, Europa League. Trophy. He scored a lot of goals for this football club. If it hadn't been for his goals last season, it could have been a real predicament. Wish him all the best wherever he goes. I mean, it looks like Palace. There's other suitors, isn't it? But Palace have stormed away and moved quickly.
Well, they're saying medical in the next 24 hours.
Exactly. He's gonna have a very quiet New Year's Eve, isn't he? So yeah, but it's now about Tottenham getting the replacement in, and hopefully, obviously, we're not hearing anything. Doesn't mean nothing's getting done. Let's hope Spurs spring into action quick.
Yeah, and look, whatever happens with Brennan, wherever he goes, we're always going to be thankful to him, aren't we? Great servant to the club, always played with a smile on his face, had a massive impact whilst he was here, obviously all culminating at the Europa League final, scoring the winning goal to help us lift the trophy. He scored in the semi-final on our way there as well. So many big goals he did score for us. Top goal scorer in a season for us as well. So I think Spurs fans are always going to look back at Brennan in a positive light.
100%.
And whenever he comes back to Tottenham, I think he's going to be met with a massive applause, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, remember as well, prior to that, a lot of abuse, a lot of the abuse he got from Spurs fans come off his social media. You've got to remember, earlier that season, he got the late winner against Coventry when you were there, and it looked like we might be going out the Carabao Cup very early. Then went on a run of 6 games in a row scoring. Had that knacker being at the far post, and he has contributed heavily since he's been there. People will say his play apart from that doesn't offer a lot, and we haven't really seen that pace or anything, but he has contributed heavily in his time at Spurs, and I think he'll actually do very well at Palace.
Yeah, I think it's a system tailor-made for him. The only problem for him is is Glasner's probably leaving at the end of the season. So
Yeah,
who knows what happens after that.
Exactly.
But in terms of the way Palace play now, I think it is tailor-made for him, and I think he'll do very well from now until the end of the season and potentially moving forward from there as well. Look, he's a very good player in terms of... I think he's the best finisher at the club. That's the thing. Like, I don't think we've got a better finisher than him. But
It's worrying, isn't it?
well, look, we're talking about Spurs struggling for goals. He was our top goal scorer last season.
Yep.
And everyone else is not here.
Well, you look at it. We didn't replace Sonny. We didn't replace Kane. Let's just hope we replace Johnson.
Yeah, but it needs to happen quick.
Yeah,
that's
100%.
the thing. It needs to happen quick. But anyway, that is Brennan Johnson. Let's move on and talk about some potential incomings. And the next player that we're going to go to is, there you go, Savinho of Manchester City. As Paul O'Keefe says, he said this on Last Word on Spurs last night, that he expects Tottenham to go back in for Savinho in this January transfer window. And Alex Crook, Talk Sport, says that Tottenham are now preparing a new move for Savinho in the hope that the pending arrival of Antoine Semenyo will change Man City's stance. However, David Ornstein did say a couple of years ago that he's had assurances that both Savinho and Marmoush are staying at Man City. And then there was another report from various different journalists saying that Oscar Bob is probably going to be the one to make way if Semenyo does arrive, which it looks like it's imminent.
Yeah.
But imminent. Yeah. So what's your thoughts on that?
We were talking about stuff here. Savinho, Ornstein said it, and you know me. If Ornstein says it, it's gospel, in my opinion, when it comes to all these people that put their stuff on Twitter and all social media. Can Savinho play on the right?
Yeah.
So, okay, maybe that's more of an option now with Johnson. I thought when he said that about Mamouche and Savinho, it was done. It wouldn't be happening. I wouldn't even mind Oscar Bob. I think Oscar Bob's a very good player.
Is he an upgrade on Brennan, though?
I think he's got a higher ceiling.
Yeah, but we're talking about players that can come in right here, right now and do the business.
Yeah, but Oscar Bob has done it at Manchester City. When he had
small sample size.
Exactly. So it's not like he's an unknown at a lesser club. He's got all the talent. Savinho, I thought the ship had sailed once he signed the contract. We'll see if we revisit it, but it looks like we could pay the Man City fee for Savinho if we go get him, isn't it? They'll cough up for Semenyo, and then we'll give them the money back for Savinho should it happen.
Do you think it's a possibility?
I'm not going to rule it out. I personally thought it was done, and couldn't see it, especially done as in not happening.
Oh,
Done as in not happening. I thought it was going to happen in the summer. Obviously, didn't get over the line. Then I didn't think after he signed his contract there was a chance in hell. Then Ornstein said the nose. But then you tip in the balance that should Semenyo come in. If they can't get the right deal for Oscar Bob and they want to recruit that money, does that then put Savinho in place? So I think this one, like you said, maybe you're right. This might be the We Are Tottenham TV, the daily Savinho will be the chosen player of the month.
Yeah. Look, I think Man City clearly rate him, don't they? Because they blocked the transfer in the summer, even though Savinho wanted to go. Man City and Pep Guardiola have made a point over things saying, like, if a player wants to go, we'll just let them go. But they didn't do that with Savinho. They kept him. They convinced him to sign a new contract. So I just can't see them letting him go. But however, Semenyo has come in now. So does he get even less minutes than he was getting? Because he's been mainly a player on the bench and making an impact off the bench. And look, he's he had a slow burner to the season. Last couple of games, he's done all right. I watched him against Nottingham Forest in their last game when he came on in the last 10, 15 minutes, and I thought he looked really good, to be honest. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't think he comes. I don't think it's one that...
I was a lot more positive about it happening in the summer.
Yeah.
But then, obviously, it just wasn't to be... I think there's some moving parts in this one. This isn't a straightforward... There's going to need to be... You know those domino ones where this happens, that happens? Well, we'll just have to wait and see.
It'll be interesting to see, though, if no one comes in for Bob.
Exactly.
And they need to sell someone.
Exactly.
Could it be a Savinho? But then again, you'll probably have to wait till the latter stages of the window for that, and we need someone now.
Correct. And that's the thing. If Spurs want Savinho and let's just say Thomas Frank did want him and he was the number one choice. And do you remember at the end of the window he said, I don't want to waste money buying players to fill a position. I'll wait for the right person. if Thomas Frank has said Savinho is the one, then what we'd like to see is Spurs at least make the attempt and say, right, here's what you wanted, and then get the deal done with Savinho and see where we go. But if it's Thomas Frank's number one pick for the wide positions, then hopefully Spurs will go and get him.
Yeah, well, let's hope so. Another player, a potential incoming that we have spoke about a lot over the past couple of weeks is Jan Diomande of RB Leipzig. Obviously, striking his stuff out in the AFCON right now, doing very well. There has been rumours that RB Leipzig value him at 100 million euros and are not going to deviate from that. However, Sky Sports have reported that the reports that RB Leipzig value Jan Diomande at 100 million. However, that is not accurate, and with the player's value understood to be more in the region of 52 to 61 million pounds, which is up to 70 million euros, which makes more sense, to be honest, for a 19-year-old who hasn't got that many games behind his belt. Obviously, he's having an unbelievable start to the season in the Bundesliga. And obviously, he's taken that form out to the AFCON as well. He's doing very well at the AFCON right now. What's your thoughts on a Jan Diomande? Like, we all talk about not signing these teenagers anymore and to go for more established players. Yep. But Jan is obviously doing very well in the Bundesliga, but it's still a very small sample size.
Exactly. This one, I'm really caught in the middle, and I'm going to sit on the fence because, like you said, he's having a fantastic season right now, and he most certainly has taken it to the AFCONs. There's a lot of people talking about him, isn't he? He is like one of the hot prospects that the European football are looking at right now. Like you said, we want to see ready-made quality to come in and immediately improve this team. He's not in that category. He could be, what I want to say, one for the future, but that's not what we need, is it? If Spurs don't take advantage of it, will we live to regret it? We never know. But I think that kind of money for a guy that's had one season, I would rather it focus on someone we know that's done it and has got the capabilities to do so. And,
you know, as much as he's doing very well in the Bundesliga, I mean, you can highlight to someone like Jamie Gittins, you know. He was having a very good season in the Bundesliga for Borussia Dortmund, young player with a high potential. He's gone to Chelsea and hasn't really done much. And look, he's maybe shown flashes at Chelsea, but he hasn't been able to knuckle down that spot and play consistently. We're running the risk, like, there is a possibility Diomande could come in and hit the ground running and be unbelievable with what he's showing right now, but it's just the risk that you're running, isn't it?
Exactly. And then you got to remember, if we take that risk and it doesn't work, then you can see what the fan base are going to be like. Oh my God, we bought another youngster, we've done this, we've done that, it's another waste of money. This is why this window for us right now has got so many different twists and turns, hasn't it, and ways to look at it.
We don't have time for twists and turns, though, because if Brennan's going tomorrow...
Exactly. So I, as good as this kid may be, and I think he will be, in a few years, someone that is very, very, very highly wanted, like he is now. But, I mean, we've shown what he's done, but I wouldn't want to take the risk with that amount of money. I'd rather spend it on a player we know can do the job.
All right, so that's Jan Diomande. We're going to move on and talk about Samu Agahawa of Porto. Fijajes, so obviously our favourite publication, Fijajes, say that Tottenham have made an offer worth £86 million to sign FC Porto striker Samu Agahawa. The 21-year-old has scored 18 goals already this season, adding to his 25 goals from last season, as now has emerged as a top target for Spurs heading into 2026. I've made it no secret that I'd love to see Samu Agahawa at Tottenham Hotspur, 21 years of age. You know, he was at Atletico Madrid. They let him go to Porto. He's smashing it out in the Portuguese league. Caveats to that, obviously, because we've seen strikers smash it out in the Portuguese league and not kind of relay that form into the Premier League. Darwin Núñez, Victor Gyökeres, there's plenty of them. But I do think this guy's a bit different. I think he's got a physical presence about him. He's good in the air, good with the ball at his feet. Young player that is just showing a high potential and someone that can come in and probably do it now. However, there's something on top of it as well. Are we actually going to be looking to get a striker in this January when we've got so many other pressing issues? We've got Richarlison, Solanke's on his way back, we've got Muani. Is it worth just putting the striker thing on pause till the summer?
Such a tough question. What I will say, like you said, he's showing it with the goals that he scored. Yes, we could say the Portuguese league, and I have to say I'm so thankful Spurs haven't gone and got Gyökeres, because I was wanting him so badly with the season we got Solanke, and he was my number one. But this guy does look like he's smashing the goals. It's a very good goal return. I didn't realise he was that young because I don't know too much about the player, but scoring goals for fun. Well, what do you say his key attributes are? Like, if you'd say his 3 top things.
He's fast. He's strong. His finishing's brilliant. He's good in the air. I mean, I don't really know a weakness that he has, to be honest. But
really?
I need to see him play a bit more. This is all I'm going on the little bits I've seen of Porto, and obviously the highlight reels that I've seen of him. So, from what I've seen from him, he does look like the real deal, to be honest.
Does he look like he's tailor-made for what we're going to try and do?
I think he's tailor-made. He very well could be tailor-made for Premier League, but I would have said the same about Victor Gyökeres and Darwin Núñez as well.
True. Well, that's why I say, I mean, £86 million is a hell of a lot of money again, isn't it, for someone so young? It's a huge risk, and you just never know. They could set the world alight. They could do the exact opposite. So we keep saying that we want this to end and we want the ready-made. You could say he's looking like he could be the ready-made real deal, but is it too much too soon?
I think if you don't get him in January, obviously I think he'll stay at Porto and he'll still be there in the summer if we want to go get him. However, if he keeps banging in the goals at the rate that he's doing it right now, then the price might go up. Although I did hear that there could be a potential release clause. That might be the release clause. 86 million could be a release clause. So if he keeps going on like the way he's going, and we've got the opportunity to sign him in the summer, I wouldn't say no. But right now, I just feel like we've got more pressing issues. We need a left back, we need a winger, we need a central midfielder, all before we need a striker.
What nationality is he, by the way?
Spanish.
Okay, so yeah, like I said, I mean, I think the key areas to go into this window is left-footed left back, midfielder, and obviously a winger. Because with Brennan, when Brennan goes, the left wing, they may not all be the best or tailor-made, but we've got enough left wingers that can do the job. Right wing may now become more of a pressing issue than the left wing. So I think the main priorities for me this window to cover a left-footed left back, a midfielder, and a winger. So maybe the striker can hold.
Yeah. All right. Well, we talk about a defender potentially coming in. Spurs have been linked again with Jan-Paul van Hecke of Brighton, as the Footy Insiders say that Liverpool and Tottenham have both been tracking Brighton centre-back Jan-Paul van Hecke, with scouts watching closely ahead of a possible move. The defender has rejected a new contract and is now ready to explore his options, putting several clubs on alert as the situation develops. I think this guy is a top quality defender. I love watching him play. Another Dutch centre-back, really good on the ball, aggressive. Have you seen much of him? Because I think he's top quality.
I think he is, but I think the question with this is, if he's coming in, obviously a defender's leaving. Is it? You would imagine it'd be Dragusin, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You would imagine, but would it be a loan with an option at the end of the season? Would it be? And Van Hecke, is he mainly left or right-sided?
He's right. He's right-footed, which is a problem. So that's the reason why I don't think we probably will go for him, because I think if we're gonna bring in another centre back, it has to be a left-footed one.
And then you got Vuskovic coming back next season.
Yeah.
So very good defender. But this isn't adding up, is it really? A top defender would do very well in a Spurs shirt. But it comes to the point where we are so stacked at the moment defensively, it's what you're going to do with the others.
Yeah. As people in the comments, probably Liverpool written all over it. I think he'll be top quality for Liverpool, to be honest. Jan-Paul van Hecke. I think wherever he goes, it's going to be a very big club, because I think he's that good. But all right, that's Paul van Hecke. Let's talk about some potential outgoings now. And the first name on the list is Radu Dragusin, as Matt Barlow says that there is interest from Juventus and other Italian clubs for Radu Dragusin, and Fabrizio Romano relays exactly the same information, that Italian clubs are lining up now for Radu Dragusin. We saw him come on against Crystal Palace, and I thought he looked really good, to be honest, in the latter stages of that game. Nearly scored with his first touch. his agent, always bloody piping up.
Yep.
Literally never shuts
Yep.
up, that Florian Manea. But how would you feel about selling Radu in this January, or even a loan with an option to buy or something like that? Because I always thought he was the wrong profile under Ange Postecoglou, but I think he actually could be the right profile
Agreed.
under Thomas Frank. However, you got Kevin Danso there,
Yep.
so it makes sense for one of them to depart.
Yeah, and you look at it as well. Danso's going to want to get minutes before the World Cup. Not Danso, sorry. Dragusin's going to want to get minutes before the World Cup. If Italy's calling as well, somewhere where he's very used to, very settled, I can see this happening. But I do see it being a loan. I do see it being a loan, because you look at it next season, like we said, Vuskovic coming back, Ashley Phillips, God knows what happens with Ashley Phillips, Kevin Danso, who was brilliant against Crystal Palace. I love Kevin Danso. So we are so heavily, we are so covered in that area. I think Dragusin could end up in Italy this January.
Would that be a shame for you, or is it just is?
We never got to see the best of him, did we? Like you said, he came in.
I remember that game when we beat Man City 4-0. I mean, he was brilliant that day, wasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I think he would be much more suited, because of the style of Frank's defensive compared to Ange. I think the style of play he'd be much more suited for. Obviously, he had that horrible injury at the end of last season, which kept him out for so long. We've never really got to see the best of him, have we? I think what was his longest run in games been? About 5 or 6, maybe?
Yeah, if that. Because I think he was going on that run and he did his ACL, didn't he?
Yeah.
But again, he was a wrong profile stylistically to bring in under Ange Postecoglou. He's not a high-line defender. He's a box defender, and that's what we do under Thomas Frank. So I think he'd actually be brilliant for Frank. I just don't know if I prefer him to Danso or I prefer Danso to him. I think they're probably very similar level defenders, to be honest.
Obviously, we haven't been able to see enough of Dragusin, but I absolutely love Kevin Danso. I'm such a big fan of his. So if it was me to call, I'd keep Danso out of those two. But like I said, we've seen Danso consistently. We haven't seen. You know what? Danso's probably been here. He's been here now. It'll be a year. Come the end of this month.
Yeah.
He's probably played more games than Dragusin.
Probably.
In a row, in total. So that's just a shame with the injury and the nature of the beast.
Dragusin was also a January transfer.
The season
so
before
he would have been
that,
2 years, Dragusin. Yeah.
And, but like you said...
Why are we always after centre-backs in January?
I have no idea. But do you know what? Again, when we brought Dragusin in, we needed a defender. It was just the wrong profile, wasn't it, for the type of football the manager wanted to play.
Yeah.
So I think Dragusin could be a very, very key asset.
How old is Danso?
Danso, I think he's 27.
27.
Let's have a look.
I thought he might be a bit older than that, maybe 28.
Let's have a look. Oh, it might be a bit older than 27, 28, yeah?
Yeah.
Let's have
that is a bit older. 1 year older.
Oh, yeah. Kevin Danso is 27.
27. So look, I mean, Dragusin's still 23. It's still very young, isn't it? I mean, you look at him, you don't think he's 23 years of age.
No.
He's an absolute unit. But
yeah.
I wouldn't mind at all keeping Dragusin around, but it just doesn't make sense to keep both of them around,
no.
I think.
And then, like you said, all these rumours, like you said, with the Brighton defender, and there'll probably be more defenders with... If we are going to bring a defender in, then one is definitely going out, isn't it? Simple as that.
Yeah, absolutely. Next up, let's talk about Vicario. There's been some interesting comments from Inter Milan legend Walter Zenga, and he has urged Inter Milan to sign Vicario at Inter Milan. And he says, if you ask me about Vicario at Inter, you're preaching to the choir. I have no doubts, and I immediately say yes. We're talking about a really strong goalkeeper and a decent guy. I would particularly like to see him between the posts for Inter, but the names of Capril and Carnadeshi would also be equally valid. Vic has great quality. He lives for football, doesn't use football to live. That's not insignificant these days, believe me. He's always remained the same guy he was at the beginning. Money and success haven't changed him at all. That's a quality of no small importance. He's a strong, complete goalkeeper, explosive between the posts. If I had played back then, there must be a reason. If I played him back then, there must be a reason. So I don't know, maybe he was his manager at, where was he before? Where did we sign him from?
Empoli, wasn't it?
Empoli. Maybe he was his manager at Empoli or something.
I'm sure it was
I'm
Empoli.
not sure. But yeah, do you feel that Vicario's time at Tottenham is coming to an end?
So first of all, Walter Zenia, what a goalkeeper he was, by the way. Incredible. I'm so torn with Vicario because he can give you moments like the Monaco game,
Yeah.
and then he can give you moments like Fulham.
Yeah.
And I suppose you could say that with a lot of goalkeepers,
Yeah.
and not just at former Spurs goalkeepers. Shot stopping, I think he's superb. With his feet, I think he's absolutely appalling. I want us to have a goalkeeper that is good with both. I really do. I think if a team the size of Inter Milan come in for him, he personally might want to go back to Italy and play for one of the big clubs there. But then we really need to look for a goalkeeper. Like I can't see Kinski.
It shouldn't be one for the January though. It's got to be one for the summer, right?
When you do, you look at it. I always, when we talk about goalkeepers, go back to when Van der Sar was retiring, and Ferguson used that time he announced it to scout for a couple of years, and then they made De Gea.
Well, that's what we did when Lloris was retiring, and we landed on Vicario.
Well, Raya to start with,
Yeah.
and then obviously that fell through for whatever reason. Then within the next day,
Because remember, Lloris was like, I'm going to make sure that
Yep.
the goalkeeper you have is going to be the goalkeeper for the next 10 years. Do you
Yep.
reckon the goalkeeper that Lloris highlighted then was Raya?
that's a good question. That's a very good question.
It must be, right, if we went for Raya first.
Yeah, I mean, Raya was the one that I wanted, wasn't it? I had one of my many meltdowns at this
I wanted
channel.
him as well.
But look, Vicario, I mean, I've seen that guy make saves that are just unexplainable. Like, how did you do that? How did you get there? But again, this playing out from the back. And also, you've got to remember as well, a big part of Thomas Frank's play was having a goalkeeper that's comfortable with the ball at Brentford, whether it be Fleckham, whether it be Raya. And is that hindering us in some kind of assets in our play? I think it is in some way, but his shot stopping is great. But the goalkeeper position, I think, is the most important position in the whole field to get right. And you've got to make sure you spent the right time monitoring and getting all the attributes that you want in and scouting them. So I wouldn't want it to happen in January. I would not want it to happen in January. But if it was to happen in the summer, I would just hope Spurs have used this time to sort out the right keeper to move forward.
Absolutely. Any names in mind, or?
See, I kept saying, I mean, if we could go and get, I love, and I've said this, I love the ex-Liverpool goalkeeper that's now,
Kelleher.
I love Kelleher. From when he started playing for Liverpool, when Alisson had his injuries, sometimes you wouldn't have realised. It was kind of like, do you remember when Nigel Martin kept getting injured and then Paul Robinson? And Paul Robinson came in. I think Kelleher is an exceptional goalkeeper. I would love to get him. Obviously, there's better, and I don't watch a lot of European football, so who knows around the country. But I would love Kelleher. I think Kelleher is so underrated. I think he's fantastic.
With Kelleher only being at Brentford for 6 months only, would you take a kind of stopgap until we can actually sign him? Maybe a couple of years down the line, someone like Mike Maignan or an older keeper that's of high quality.
Someone like him, I would.
If we could even get them, I don't know.
Yeah,
but.
exactly. I mean, the goalkeepers start coming out. I mean, also looking at World Cup year, you could scout them there, can't you? But if I had to go and get a goalkeeper right now, and if I could, I am such a, like I said, I can't describe how much of a huge fan of Kelleher I am. Shouldn't really be saying this, because tomorrow we'll probably have a Tim Krul game against us. But yeah, I think he's a top keeper. I love Kelleher.
All right, so that's the Vicario situation. I wanted to bring this up about some Paul O'Keefe comments on Wilson Odobert on Last Word on Spurs last night. And he said, Wilson Odobert feels pressure at Tottenham home games and he is sometimes too frightened to try things that he would do in training where he blitzes his opponent in the actual game. And that's really worrying, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you've got a young player coming through, which obviously he has a lot of talent. I mean, we saw him. He was very explosive when he came on against Crystal Palace, wasn't he, in the last half an hour? I thought he was brilliant. Bursting past his man, quick 1-2s, really good shot that rattled against the post. What is it about this stadium. Like we're talking about players frightened to actually try things at our home ground. I mean, that is really worrying.
Do you know what's more worrying for me than it being at the home ground? Throughout watching football, we always hear the commentators and players come up when they're young, like an Andros Townsend, I'm just saying Spurs one, an Aaron Lennon, a Nick Barmby, we can go on. Even non-Spurs, Wayne Rooney and all these others when they came on, their youth was, they didn't give a monkeys. They literally drove and drove. Ryan Giggs when he started. So to hear that possibly a young winger is scared to try things live and in game days, that's not the kind of thing you normally hear about. You normally hear that they're trying too much and the manager needs to rein it in or their teammates need to rein it in. So that is concerning. But like you said, I thought when he came against Palace, he looked fantastic. He really did cause some problems.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of play you want to see. And I mean, even against... I'm going to say again, who was it we played in the Carabao Cup? Was it Morecambe?
Yeah.
I think it was
no, Doncaster.
Doncaster, I think it was Morecambe. And I think it was against Copenhagen. He looked direct, he looked ready to take on players.
When he came on against Manchester United as well.
Oh, very much so. He seems to have this... he seems to have the ability to do it when he comes off the bench, doesn't he? But for when he started, maybe he's worried about making a foot wrong and then maybe not playing the net. It's not what you normally hear from youngsters, but he has looked a lot sharper and a lot more eager when he's come off the bench.
Do you think, like, I don't know, like, with Wilson Odobert being frightened to try things at home, like, how can you get over that? Like, what's he actually frightened of?
Probably the crowd reaction, which is just sad to say. Probably the crowd reaction. Frank said taking risk is taking risks, or words to that effect, wasn't it? If you're not taking risks, you're not taking. You got to take risks. You look at him. You can say even the same with Tell. When Tell came on against Manchester United, he was trying stuff and got hold of the game. It's sad to hear that players are saying this, especially the youngsters that are growing into the mature players that they will become. I don't even know what to say about it. I mean, you would hope Thomas Frank would just say to him, listen, just do it. I'm telling you to do it. Go for it. And if it works, your confidence will grow up, or build, sorry. And if it doesn't work,
we'll have to work through it.
We'll have to work through it, and we'll work it on the training pitch. So to hear that coming out, I mean,
it's just sad though, isn't it?
It's sad. More sad than
it's sad to hear, like, when he's going away from home, you know, you're feeling like a burden's kind of lifted off your shoulders. When you're in training, you're blitzing things, you're storming past players, and you're showing a lot more. And then when you're at home, and you know, you're supposed to be home comforts, it's supposed to be where you feel you're most confident. Mm-hmm. He's frightened to, you know, really give it a proper go.
Yep.
It's sad, man.
I think I've heard a few Spurs players in interviews when they're doing these quick fire things have said that Wilson Odobert in training does things that amazes the players. So, look, he's a very, very young kid. He does it for France, doesn't he? Whenever he's on 21s, he's flying. So hopefully this nerves and anxiety or anxiousness will pass and we'll see more on the pitch. But it's not good to hear that, especially for the home games. Yeah.
We've seen, like, kind of Spurs fans give a lot of players stick, right? But once that stick and the Spurs fans have, like, you know, calmed down and thought about things, like with Vicario, like with Brennan Johnson, and then they get all the support of the fans, maybe now this has come out, Wilson Odobert can get, you know, a lot of support.
Yeah, I mean, you look at where you said Brennan Johnson, when he went off social media because of the abuse, he went on that 6 goals.
And off the back of that, even before the goal run, you know, he was getting a lot of adulation and support.
Yeah, exactly. It's just mad. The supporters hopefully will get behind him now.
But this is another example of what I keep saying quite consistently throughout this season about the home fans and the home support. Berating players and booing players, like Vicario makes that mistake, he gets booed. Mm-hmm. It doesn't help anyone. What is the point of it? Like, fans at home, yeah, I get, you pay your money, you have your right to say what you want. And, that's true. That's all true. You have your right to say what you want. But being negative and moaning, fine, that's just pass and part. But actually targeting one of your own players and booing them on the pitch and giving them dog's abuse, it helps no one. We're supposed to be supporters of this team. Yep. We're not supposed to be here to berate them and bring them down. We want to elevate them and bring them up. And that is not going to happen with abuse, is it? No.
I mean, obviously, when we have you do the post-match fan show, or we're talking after the game, you can say, I thought this player played bad, I thought this player was poor.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's part and parcel of football. But yeah, like you said, being at home and booing the players, which is something I've never done, one of our own, and then making them feel uncomfortable is not the right thing during the game. During the game, not the right thing. Obviously, like we said, after the game, the whistle goes, everyone can do it. But for a player to be feeling this, hopefully, from the Sunderland game, if Odobert was to start or comes on, the fans will be right behind him. Yeah.
Look, I think I've only ever booed one Tottenham player ever, and that was Hossam Ghali when he threw the shirt at Martin Jol. And I think it's so wrong to boo one of your own players, whether they're playing bad, whatever. It doesn't matter. They're one of your own.
I'll tell you what, Hossam Ghali's a brave man throwing a shirt at Big Martin Jol.
Yeah, I know. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember it. Mate, this is Martin Jol we're talking about, mate. Yeah. I remember everything of Martin Jol. Could you imagine being a fly on the wall of that dressing room? I would not have wanted to be Hossam Ghali.
Never played for the club again, or did he play for the club?
I don't think he did. I don't think he did, if memory serves me right. But yeah, that was a silly thing to do, a ridiculous thing to do. I think the only other time there's been kind of that kind of feeling is, you remember when Morecambe and
Dembele, yeah. If I was at that game, I probably would have.
We were here.
I was doing a watch along with you, but I probably would have booed Dembele.
That was just
if I was if I was in the stadium.
That was because we were 1-0 down at the time, weren't we? We were 1-0 down to Morecambe in the FA Cup, and he's just walking off, showing no respect to the badge, the fans, the manager. So there was that incident. But yeah, let's just hope. Odobert said his piece now, or it's come out, and now the fans can rally behind him.
All right, and last but not least, we are going to talk about a couple of our loanees, Jamie Donnelly and Damola Ajayi, as Matt Barlow says that Tottenham are going to recall Jamie Donnelly and Damola Ajayi from their respective loan spells at Stoke and Doncaster in search of more game time for them. There was a rumour that Jamie Donnelly could be going to Bolton. However, Lily White Rose on X says that there is nothing in the links between Bolton and Jamie Donnelly. So it'll be interesting to see where he does end up. It's been a really frustrating loan, particularly, for both of them. Because first of all, Ajayi was smashing out in pre-season. He actually got a golden assist a couple of weeks ago in the EFL Cup, but in the league, he's got little minutes. Jamie Donnelly, he set League One alight last season with Leyton Orient, and I thought the transition from League One to the Championship would be a bit seamless for him, and I thought he would gonna hit the ground running there and he'd get more minutes. Hasn't worked out like that, and I'm not sure what the issues are there, but he's just getting no minutes whatsoever. So I think it's only right to bring him back and find another loan spell for him. But I just hope it is another loan spell in the Championship, because I do think he's got the quality to play in that league.
Yeah, yes, but Joe, I mean, bringing him back is the right thing to do. It's been a awful loan for him, hasn't it? I mean, especially with Ashley Phillips there, pretty much playing game after game after game and being in the starting lineup. So after his exploits last season, you really thought he would have kicked on. I don't know if it's going to be best for the players' morale. If he goes back to a Championship team, will he get the money or the minutes? Or if possible, return to Leyton Orient to boost his morale, get him playing regularly, feel love for football again. So he definitely needs a loan. He's not gonna start or figure for Spurs. So I don't know if a loan to League One again to build him up, because God knows what he's going through personally, just sitting there and seeing 6 months just wiped off of his career. So I think he can do it in the Championship, but I think it might be a Leyton Orient loan again.
Very well could be. I just hope he stays in the Championship, because I think it will do wonders for him if he can get into the Championship and get playing. Just get playing regularly in the Championship, and I'm sure he will provide his quality for sure.
Yeah.
But look, that is the situation. Donnelly and Ajayi will be, are rumoured to be returning to the club. Obviously, it will become more evident in the next day or so. January is tomorrow, people. So the window tomorrow is going to be a crazy month, January, because we've got 8 games.
Yep.
We've got the transfer stories and rumours every day. It's going to be non-stop. It's going to be absolutely non-stop.
Yep, everyone get their sleep in because it's going to be a bad 30 days. 31. When does it actually close? 1st of February or 31st of January?
I'm not sure. When does the So it closes the 31st of January at 11 p.m.
There you go.
Yeah. So 31 days of carnage we're about to go through. You looking forward to it? You hopeful?
Do you know what? I actually am hopeful. I am going into this window, the first of many a year, and I am actually quite optimistic. I really am. I think one big player comes in. I'm not saying like record transfer signing, but like we've spoken about, Conor Gallagher or Ruben Neves, that kind of bracket of player that can immediately come in and improve this football club.
You're predicting one player that comes straight into our first team?
Minimum. I think one big... we look at previous windows and you'd say Kulusevski, Bentancur and Porro are probably the best January transfers in God knows how many years. I think we get another one like that, but one that will come in and it'll be like, that is the absolute perfect person for that position to elevate us, because we don't need to spend... Look, we'd love to see an 80, 90, £100 million player. I highly doubt it will happen in January. I highly doubt it will happen in the summer, but there's more chance of it. But we look at these players we've been talking about, or even an Adam Wharton, which is highly unlikely, but you sign one of those types of players in midfield, you're like, right, that does it. That improves us levels upon levels. So we shall see what happens.
My fear is that, because I think Spurs are going to look to be really ambitious in this January, but obviously we all know January is January. I fear that we're going to be so ambitious this January, we're just going to be sitting here with a bunch of rejections. That's what my fear is.
Mate, do you know what? When we end the year, me being the ray of sunshine and being optimistic and positive, I think, and I will say, a very good friend of mine, Connie Cross, keeps saying the name Scott McTominay.
Yeah, we spoke about him on the Tottenham update yesterday, Scott McTominay. Sim didn't fancy it, but I think he's a very good player. I think he walks into our team.
I was reading somewhere that there might be some off-the-field issues at Napoli. I don't know. I don't know the full extent of what it is, or whether it's his personal life, or there's a situation at Napoli or anything. I thought he wouldn't have been leaving at all because he loves Napoli and the way he's exploded there, won the league and loved by their fans. But if he was available and we could get him, he would be something that would suit us to the ground.
Yeah, I'm not sure what these off-the-field issues are, but it did say that in the update yesterday.
I'll take him. I mean, if we look at those, you love Ruben Neves.
I love Ruben Neves, yeah.
I do love him as well. I mean, Conor Gallagher, who I did not want at all last season, I think will be perfect. The dream one is Adam Wharton, but that ain't going to happen. I would still love us to sign a Morgan Gibbs-White. I'd still absolutely love it. And then you had Scott McTominay. So if we were to sign one of those midfielders, either one of those elevate us immediately, don't they, in that midfield area? And we
Ruben Neves is exactly what we need. A guy that can dictate the tempo of play, that has the passing range.
Set pieces.
He's got it. Yeah, he's got everything that we need, Ruben Neves. And actually, you have a Ruben Neves and you can put him alongside a João Palhinha, and then obviously João Palhinha's flaws aren't as bad as putting him next to Rodrigo Bentancur. So, yeah.
I'm going to mention one more name to you.
Go on.
And I saw used out. I'm not going to read all the letters and numbers. His name doesn't go away. Would you take Kobe Mainoo?
100%. I love Kobe Mainoo. I think he's a top quality player. He's shown it from such a young age. for some reason Ruben Amorim has just kept him out in the dark. I think he'll be a brilliant signing for Spurs, and I don't know if he was a Spurs fan or what, but
Seen him in a Spurs shirt.
Yeah,
as a
exactly.
youngster.
We saw him in a Spurs shirt as a youngster, so yeah, I think Kobbie Mainoo would be phenomenal for us.
Where would you put him in the bracket of those midfielders we've been talking about? Where in the pecking order would you put him?
I think you're looking at our eights, which is Archie Gray, Jamie Donnelly, Lucas Bergvall and Pape. I think he probably comes in as the best of the lot.
Okay, and what I meant is the other midfielders we've been talking about to bring in.
Oh, I see.
Out of Wharton, blah, 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 blah. Or the...
Ruben Neves is better. Ruben Neves comes in and he's automatically, a more established player. McTominay is a bit different because McTominay plays a bit of a different role. McTominay, I think, actually, if he was in our team, he would be more of a 10.
Okay.
So I think the only ones comparable are kind of Ruben Neves and Kobbie Mainoo, but I think Ruben Neves adds what we need a bit more than Kobbie Mainoo. Kobbie Mainoo, I think, would be more of probably a replacement for someone like Pape.
There you go. I mean, I think if we were to go for Mainoo, I'd want it on loan to begin with. See how he does, because obviously he's missed a lot of football because of Amorim and the way he wants to play and just not using him. So I would, if we got him, I'd be happy, but I think I'd want it on loan with an option or obligation based on certain criteria and then use the rest of the money elsewhere. But I would have no drama whatsoever bring Kobe in.
So we all talk about needing a left back, though. Left back is so important. There's no left backs being linked. It's a bit of a concern because we all said it in the summer how much we need a left back and no left backs were ever being linked. And we never even end up bringing one in.
We're going under the radar, mate. We are going under the radar. We're going to bring in a whale.
Let's hope so, mate.
Let's
hope so.
I mean, for the balance of the team, we that left-footed left back is vital.
Absolutely. What's your highlight been of 2025?
It's got to be Bilbao. Listen, it's got to be Bilbao.
I think you'll find a Spurs fan hard pressed not to say Bilbao.
Yeah. It's just Bilbao, and obviously what you got to remember is so many people watching it and have different memories. Like obviously you were lucky enough to be there. I was with the wonderful people of Toronto Spurs at the Scotland Yard, with Bobby Kay, with Cody, with all of them. No matter where you were in the world, it was just a fantastic evening, fantastic night, fantastic weekend. The parade.
Oh, the parade, man.
But apart from
what
that...
a day that was.
Apart from that, there really was not much to... Oh, wait a minute. September the 4th was my favourite moment.
Daniel Levy.
Yes.
So you
when I say
prefer Daniel Levy leaving to Spurs winning a trophy?
Obviously, I'm joking. Spurs winning the trophy is a cut above everything. But I'm talking about when that actually happened, and I didn't know it happened because I was just chilling at home, and then my phone blew up, like literally blew up. So yeah, the top moments: Bilbao, parade, Levy go. That's my top three.
I would say number one, my daughter being born. I would say that would probably be number one.
Life, not just Spurs.
It's 2025, mate. I never said Spurs.
That's true.
I'll say that. I would say Bilbao, the parade, Levy.
Then let me just put above Bilbao my nephew's bar mitzvahs.
Okay.
My first
nephew's
two
bar
nephews.
mitzvahs.
Yeah, my twin nephew's bar mitzvahs. That was the greatest thing ever.
Well, by the way, they're watching. So
Isaac and Noah are in.
They left a comment before saying say hi to Uncle and Ben.
Oh, there you go. So yeah, best moment of 2025. Isaac and Noah's bar mitzvah. My first nephew's been bar mitzvahed.
But let us know, people, what are your best moments of 2025? Look, it's been a majority terrible year on the pitch, but it's always going to be remembered as a great year.
Of course.
That's the reality. So that is it, people. That is the last you're going to see from us in 2025. Me and Brian both on the watch along tomorrow, so very much looking forward to that. Come and tune in. 7:45 we'll be going live tomorrow night. And hope you all have a great night tonight. Happy New Year, whatever you're doing and whoever you're doing them with. And you got to let us know your New Year's resolutions and let us know what you want Tottenham's New Year's resolutions to be. Because Tottenham have got to have a lot of New Year's resolutions if they're going to make us happier in 2026. And let's hope another trophy is coming in 2026, eh?
Damn right. Damn right. Here, the FA Cup.
The FA Cup is coming.
Please, God, I say it every year. I've said it every year for 31 years. No, 30. This will be 35 years. Maybe I should just keep my trap shut.
35 years we won the FA Cup to become record holders. Won it the most times out of anyone.
Haven't been to a final
for 8th record time and haven't been to a final since.
And I'll tell you what, if you'd said to any football fan, not just Tottenham, any football fan, that Tottenham will not be in an FA Cup final for 35 years, even our rivals would have said that's impossible. But it's true.
Well, it's great to end the stream on that note. But look, have a great night, whatever you do tonight, people. We'll see you all tomorrow. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.